Alright, what's up guys? GUA here, and yeah, bringing you guys a video here. So, as you guys probably know, I competed in a LAN tournament recently. It was called King of the Rockies. It was a LAN tournament in Denver, Colorado. It was an awesome tournament, and I'm going to talk about the first series I had in that tournament, so I'm going to try to quickly get into this. My first series was versus Filisberto, so we had a best of 5. And yeah, I'm going to show you really quickly the map draft. So this was the map draft. We both kind of banned some water maps. Yeah, that was the map draft, nothing too crazy. And then this was the Civ draft. So I'll cover this really quickly. I think I outdrafted Filisberto like significantly. I think I had way better civs in the Civ draft. One thing he did mention is I think he thought he was confused at who was going to pick first and who was not going to pick first. So I don't know. I think he kind of messed up his Civ draft a little bit because of that, but still he made some issues even regardless of that. I think he still made some mistakes, and that's why when you play tournaments, honestly, you should really practice the Civ drafts before. But I've been in that situation before where I've done a Civ draft and I like really messed it up, where I like accidentally picked the Civ that was like gonna be banned, and there's like a couple different ways you can mess up Civ drafts. But yeah, so I'll kind of quickly get into this. So he's obviously known for his Mongols, so this time I didn't mess around. I banned his Mongols first. I banned Mongols and HRE. He ended up banning my Absid and my Ayubids, which a little bit surprising, and then these are the rest of the bans. But one big thing where he messed up is he banned Ayubids, which meant I cannot pick Ayubids ever. And then he actually he banned Absid, which means I could never pick Absid. But then he chose Absid as his first Civ, which was a huge mistake, right? Because he could have picked Absid here, because I just can never pick Absid. So that was like, that alone was a really big mess up, right? So if you look at me, right, I banned his Mongols first, which allowed me to pick Mongols as my last Civ choice. And how the draft worked is, if you picked a Civ, that meant the opponent couldn't play that Civ. So like I picked English here, means he cannot play English, right? So he really messed us up, right? Yeah, he banned my Absid, and then he picked his Absid. Exact opposite of what you want to do. He could have picked Absid here, as I just kind of said, I banned Mongols, and I picked Mongols. So that was, like, first really big mess up, right? And then that kind of snowballed the draft a bit. So anyways, yeah, I got, like, English, Ruse. And then I was able to, he didn't ban HRE. And that was the other thing. So he didn't ban HRE, but I banned HRE. He could have banned HRE later here, because you get like 2 bans and then you pick a Civ, and he could have banned HRE at some point, but he decided not to. And yeah, so I banned Mongols and then HRE, and then I picked those 2 Civs at the very end of my draft, which I think made my draft really good, because then I could pick like English first and then in Ruse. So yeah, I have like English, Ruse, HRE, even then Mongols. So yeah, I think it looked very good. And then he maybe had civs that maybe he doesn't play a whole lot, because if I take English away from him, if I take like HRE away from him, I'm not exactly sure about all the civs he's comfortable with. But yeah, so okay, that was the draft. I want to just kind of very quickly go over that draft, and then we're gonna get into game 1 here. And yeah, I'm just gonna basically commentate on this. And yeah, just very quick summary. Yeah, this was basically my first LAN ever. I played in a tiny LAN qualifier for AOE3 way back in the day, but it wasn't anything like this LAN. Yeah, this was LAN where I flew out to Denver, Colorado. The top 8 players from North America competed. It was amazing experience, awesome experience. And yeah, I figured I might as well just kind of go over the games that I played in LAN and just kind of discuss them. Because yeah, it was just an awesome experience, and I feel like can make some awesome content here going over these games. So yeah, so Cliffside, it's a map where there's a ton of sheep, so it's a very good map for HRE, because you can, have a ton of sheep underneath the chapel radius, which is very nice. And Order of the Dragon can kind of do the same thing with the chapel, but yeah, very good HRE map, and HRE, like, probably the best civ in the entire game on this patch, and he didn't ban them, so I kind of got lucky to play HRE. Most people, like, banned HRE, so yeah, obviously feeling very good. Being able to play HRE on Cliffside is extremely good. I guess real quick, going into this, I did play versus Filisberto in the qualifier for this tournament, and I actually ended up losing to him 3-1. He beat me 3-1. I did ban his Mongols in that, because I was kind of trying to get more practice, but obviously this time around I didn't mess around, and I obviously banned his Mongols, because that's by far his best civ. He's known well for his Mongols, so yeah, I didn't mess around this time. So yeah, going into this tournament, I really didn't know how. I didn't feel that confident because I lost him in the qualifier, and my practice on the ladder was like kind of very mixed results, where my ELO wasn't climbing high at all. Like it was much lower than I would have expected going into the LAN. However, I was playing a lot of different civs on the ladder, so I think that was a big thing. I probably had like my best civ pool I've ever had going into a tournament, where I was like the most comfortable with the most amount of civs. So I think that was a huge thing. So yeah, okay. With that all said, let's get into this. So HRE versus Aura of the Dragon. You know, Aura of the Dragon's pretty. They did get buffed in this patch, so it was kind of like a very much of a wild card civ. They can sometimes do like very all in. So I didn't know what I was gonna be up for, you know, going against. So I just kind of had to scout and see what was going on. And I think I kind of lucked out here. I sent my scouts just to get sheep. And I basically I'm pretty sure I accidentally did this. I forgot if I did this on purpose or not. I'm pretty sure this was on accident, but I end up like beelining it to his base, and I see his barracks like immediately. I should have kind of known that, because the one build that Order of the Dragon does do pretty frequently is that they will build a barracks in H1 and do a spearman rush. It's pretty common for them. But I kind of luckily do see that right away. At the moment, I'm still doing a standard HRE opening. You always put 3 villagers on gold. And I think actually him doing a spearman rush is probably like the worst thing you could do here, because like all HRE needs to do is just gather enough gold to age up, and then they don't really need to gather gold. And the gold mine is like, you know, just outside of TC range, and HRE has emergency repair. So even if you start attacking the mining camp, you can't burn it down because they can just do emergency repair. So I do notice, you know, the barracks there, and I end up throwing a 4th villager on the gold mine. Usually I would only do 3, but I put a 4th one there just in case, because I want to make sure that I am able to gather enough gold to age up. I don't want the spearmen to like show up and then push me off gold and not have enough gold to age up. So I'm like, you know what, let me just spend the walking time. It would be silly to risk it. Let me just put a 4th villager there just to make sure I have enough gold to age up. And then boom. So the spearman shows up, and I already have enough gold to age up. So this rush is already like very bad for Filisberto, because yeah, I want to get off the gold mine right now anyways, because I want to start aging. So there's basically like nothing for the spearman to do. So yeah, it's honestly, it was just a bad idea to do a spearman rush versus HRE. You can do it for some civs, but you just don't want to do it. So now Filisberto is going to be much slower to H2. Like, you know, he's going to be getting chapel much slower. Like, everything's just going to be significantly slower for him, which is obviously not ideal. I want to drop off my sheep here, so I do a little drive-by. And the one thing is that, you know, sometimes players will forget about emergency repair. Sometimes the HRE player will forget to use emergency repair, and sometimes the player that is playing against HRE will forget that HRE has emergency repair. So in this instance, I was letting him siege down this mining camp on purpose. Like, you know, obviously I could do emergency repair at any time, but I was trying to wait as long as possible to do emergency repair, because I wasn't sure if he, you know, knew about it, if he remembered about it or not. But I was like, okay, let me keep the spearman here attacking this for as long as possible, because basically the spearman's gonna be completely useless. So, you know, I let him attack it all the way. I let it even start burning before I do the emergency repair, just to make sure that the spearman is idle. And if I was Filisberto, the thing that he should do, obviously the spearman rush did not work, but if I was in Filisberto's shoes, you should not attack this because it can be emergency repaired. The best thing he could do with this spearman is he could like lame hunt. So he could, for example, he could like push these deer away from me and like kill them over here. You know, he could kill one deer here and then kill this one like way over here. You know, just spread them out. That's one thing players will do if, you know, you have a spearman in H1. If you're like auto and you get like the H1 spearman, or even with scouts, you know, you can lame your opponent's hunt. That's been like the new, you know, popular thing in competitive play. But yeah, as you're seeing, I'm letting this get down all like very low, just keep them busy. Or if you could, you know, push your enemy's hunt away, or on the other side, you could push your hunt towards you. So you're gonna see in a second. Now I do emergency repair, and this spearman has done absolutely nothing, literally nothing. Imagine the spearman could have been pushing these deer over here. Imagine if he used a spearman and he was like pushing these deer for like a minute or 2 straight, and all of a sudden he got like 6 deer right here, and he killed like 6 deer right here, and then he built a tower, and he had like this insane location where there's a bunch of deer like close to his TC, and on top of the gold mine. That, you know, that would have been so good. But instead, the spearman is just completely useless and just literally did nothing, and it just slowed down his age up significantly. So And actually, this chapel placement is also not very good too, now that I think about it. If I was him, the berries aren't within chapel range, which I think is actually a really big mistake. Berries, you know, they generally aren't a really very good food source, but if they're underneath the chapel, they're actually pretty good. So honestly, if I was him, I would have put the chapel like right here, and you could easily have the berries in chapel range, and the trees, and your sheep. So that's kind of, yeah. I mean, or you. That's what I would have done, but you could also go for like hunt with Order of the Dragon, or go for an early boar. But yeah. So let's see what I was doing. So yeah, I built a barracks here. I wanted to, you know, push back the spearmen. I actually wanted to gather gold so I could make a man-arm to push back the spearmen. I could have opened archer range, but I think my thought process was that I was afraid that Order of the Dragon would do like a fast castle. Sometimes they go castle age really quickly, and they just have a bunch of armored units, and then archers are completely useless. Or they stay age 2 and they just make a bunch of man arms, and then like archer rangers are useless. So I was thinking I don't want to build an archer range because yeah, you could just have a bunch of armored units, or you could just fast castle, and like you really don't want to have archers. And yeah, so I end up pushing him back. He just kind of retreats. So yeah, I end up just sending my spearman forward. Trying to see if I could maybe do any damage. End up pulling these villas back. I don't really need gold, so I was just gonna, queue up a couple man arms, and then boom, I got 2 in queue. So now maybe I can push that spearman back. And so it's always good mixing in farms with Achery is always really good, because just gathering from farms underneath the chapel is extremely good. So it's always good to just mix some farms in early, and that way it kind of makes the sheep last longer. So yeah. And I was kind of running around with my spearman, seeing if I could do any damage. It will have some man arms out now, and it will push him back. And yeah, and then I scout an archer range, so that kind of indicates, okay, he's not doing like a super fast castle, so it's good information to be aware of. And yeah, playing in this land, it was an awesome experience, and I definitely felt the nerves a bit. It was interesting. Like, I don't know, when you play tournaments at home, sometimes you can feel nervous. Sometimes you feel like your heart racing, like your heart rate increasing. I didn't feel that. I don't think I felt that at all, like playing this game for Filisberto. But the one thing I will say is, I was like sweating like a lot. So, like, I don't know if it was partially like the venue was maybe a little bit hot. The venue was an incredible, very nice venue, but it was like maybe a little like stuffy where the players were. That might have been part of it, but sometimes when I do play and I get like nervous, even at home, like my hands will get clammy and like start sweating a bit. And man, I'll tell you, like this first game here, it was like nothing I've ever had before. My hands were so sweaty, like I had to keep wiping my hands and like on my pants, because yeah, my hands are so freaking like sweaty and clammy. It was a combination of I mean, probably mainly the nerves, but yeah, it was pretty wild. Yeah, I mean, first time basically playing in a LAN. So I actually ran out of sheep here, so I had to put all my villagers back on the woods just so they have something to do. My scout was a little bit away with the sheep. I probably should have dropped off the sheep sooner, but that's not too big of a deal. So yeah, I'm just trying to kind of poke here, harass. And then yeah, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get my scout back right away because I ran out of sheep. And I have like 3 villagers on food, so... but yep, I'm just kind of massing up units, and the thing with Order of the Dragon is that their units are really expensive, so... Hold on. So they don't have that many units, so they can't cover like every area. So in that scenario, it can be really good to like attack at a bunch of different locations, trying to like push them off of gold here. And with them having just so few units, this was one thing that was actually really annoying. In one of the latest patches, they made a change where scouts no longer count as military, which I actually hate. Some people, can be good for some people in some situations. But I have a scout in a control group myself, but I'm also very used to using the move all military hockey and assuming that it's going to move my scout. So sometimes I'll press move all military, and then my brain will think that the scout's retreating due to that command. But now with this latest patch, the scout doesn't move when you press the move all military. So I end up losing my scout here because of that, and it was really frustrating. It's been happening a fair amount since that change, and I don't know, I just have to somehow get used to it, but. Yeah, so that was obviously very bad losing the scout there. I think I killed his scouts. I think I killed the scouts just a little bit before this. I actually had good micro with the spearmen. And, yeah, like attacked the scout twice and then moved up and attacked again. Make sure the scout didn't get out of range. So, yeah, I had good micro there, but then I had bad micro and I lost my own scout. And so I think at this point I see that he doesn't have a whole lot of units, and I'm starting to feel pretty safe. So now I think I'm starting to try to go up to Castle Age. So I end up building a tower here, because towers with HE are just really good. You know, you have emergency repair, so it's very hard to kill towers, and their emplacements are cheaper. So yeah, it's always like smart to build towers, and if you're trying to like sneak up to Castle Age early, it just is obviously smart to have towers. So and lost a couple units here. Yeah, bad control there. Keep those units there for a bit longer than I need to. But yep, just still trying to run around the map with some units and harass. I guess one thing I'll say real quick from Filisberto's perspective, I don't. He kind of played this weird. So with Order of the Dragon, one common build Order of the Dragon does is they go for early boars, because they can just use 5 of the buffed Order of the Dragon villagers, kill a boar, and then only build 1 tower, and then let the 5 villagers gather from the boar and have a tower right there to protect it, which is really good with Order of the Dragon. So I'm kind of surprised that he didn't go for that. I mean, I was making a lot of units early, but still, like, just towering a boar with Order of the Dragon is so good. And he has the boar that spawned next to these deer, which often happens on this map. So he could have, like, lured the boar here, killed the boar here, and then put out, like, 1 tower here or 2 towers, and it had a ton of food. Very quick food source right here to gather from. So I think that's honestly, I think that's what he should have done instead of farming, because, you know, farming underneath the chapel isn't bad. And he still has, like, sheep left here too, which... and as you're going to see later on, he mixes in even more farms. But yeah, you're starting to see how many farms he's making. I think it would have been way better for him to gather from the boar and the deer. Or like I said earlier, you know, he could have had his chapel over here and just maybe gathered from the berries underneath the chapel range. So I think those are some kind of mistakes that he made there. Okay, so I start aging. I do lose 1 villager there, unfortunately. I think he overdives here, so it was good that he killed the 1 villager, but he's kind of going underneath TC fire a little bit too much. Meanwhile, I'm trying to harass and be annoying. And I built the Ragnets in kind of a bad location here, like, because these houses are blocking. I probably should have built the Ragnets here, or, like, right here. And, my bills are idled here, but, yeah, I noticed, obviously, he's got these archers here, so right here, I, like, go, like, full panic mode. I'm like, okay, I need to make sure this does not get denied, because there's a small chance that, like, he could try to dive this and, like, cause a ton of idle time, and just attack these villagers, like, you know, attack from here or attack from here. My TC would probably cover it for the most part, but still, I might lose some villas in the process or just have a bunch of idle time. So I'm like, okay, this Ragnets is kind of built in a bad location. I gotta make sure this gets up, so let me just throw, like, a ton of villagers on this and just build it really quick. And then here I end up doing some far stone gathering where, if you want to get, like, arrow slits, you can just put, like, 3 villagers on the stone mine. Let them gather once and then drop it off and then be able to research arrow slits, which is very nice. I do lose 1 villager here, which is a bit of a mistake. But then here he overdives, right? So he killed that 1 vill. He should dip. He should go back, right? But look at, he's got 7 archers here right now. Like, TCs do a lot of damage. So he killed that 1 vill, but then he lost 2 archers for that. I think he could have left a little bit sooner. He was kind of quick with it, but yeah, I think he could have left a bit sooner. And now he's trying to build a ram, do a ram push, and, you know, he could have maybe had 2 more archers, which would have made this push a lot stronger. So yeah, now I'm in Castle Age, and now I want to, like, focus on getting a ton of man-arms out and upgrade my man-arms, get H3 man-arms, and obviously capture the relics. So I see that he's building rams, so I try to pull back all of my military. I think I do, like, move all military, get every unit back to, basically I just need to defend this. I need to not die to this all in. Because I'm now an age ahead, and I have relics, so I need to just not take a shit ton of damage right now, and I'll be in a really good spot. But these guys, I end up taking a really bad route with these man-arms. Also, you get a nice shot there. Yeah, these man-arms end up going really bad routes. The upgrade is currently, H3 man-at-arm upgrade is currently being researched. I really want to avoid fighting until that upgrade is finished, and maybe until I have a few more units. So this was really unfortunate, these freaking man-arms running into the fire and, yeah, just losing 1 there and taking more damage, which is not ideal. I mean, it does kind of push him away a little bit, but, yeah, still not ideal. And yeah, meanwhile I'm just capturing relics, which is obviously going to be big. I got pushed off of the food sources, and I need a bunch of food, so I just go on to these berries. I just need my villagers gathering something, right? Even I'm pushed off of gold. I realize I'm not really gonna be able to gather gold here, so I'm not trying to force it and leave the villagers there. I just need them to gather something, so I put them onto food and wood. And then his units are like out of position from the ram here a little bit, so I try to end up diving this ram, with my army. I had to garrison my villagers there. Emergency repair, obviously extremely good with HRE, so able to just do emergency repair, keep this tower alive longer. And then meanwhile, I do. Ooh, this was actually very nice. Just three archers being annoying. Like stuff like this is so good and so annoying when you're going up against it. And he's trying to build. Was building towers here in the meantime too, which is actually weird. This is wow. I must have like thrown him off so much. He went over here to build a mining camp. This is so he went here to build a mining camp and towers when he still has this back gold. Like I think he was maybe so tired of getting harassed here, and he has hunt over here too. So yeah, that is obviously strange that he went to this mining camp location, and then I just happened to be there too with like these archers. And now all of a sudden he has to idle 10 Order of the Dragon villagers, which is very unfortunate. And maybe even lose one. So just little raids like this is so annoying. I realize that now, like I'm H3, I don't want to keep making more archers. I don't want to upgrade my archers. So they're not really going to give any value in fights. So it's good to just be annoying with them. And they're fast because they have the H3 bonus of, where they're just faster at the start of the game. So yeah, just raiding with like annoying HRE archers is actually just very good in this scenario. And yeah, look how many farms he's built. He's built so many farms now, and instead of taking like the deer and the boar, which I think it would have been way smarter for him to just take the deer, or like I said, like if he takes this location, this would be insane. He could lure the boar to this hunt, kill the boar right here, and then drop 2 towers. All of a sudden, he has an insane amount of food in this location that gathers extremely quickly instead of spending a ton of wood to make all of these farms. So I think that was a really big mistake by him, not going out for those resources. Alright, so I saw his units over here. I think I'm trying to catch them, trying to figure out where the hell they're going. And just trying to be more annoying with these archers. I think I'm looking at the different food sources. I know I have good reaction time here. Notice his units, so I actually don't lose any villagers there, which is very nice. I finally start getting my eco upgrades now that I feel like a little bit of breathing room to get eco upgrades. Mainly prioritizing trying to pick up relics. I notice he just hit Castlage, so I'm gonna try to. Now I have a decent amount of units, and I have like H3 man arms, so I'm trying to pressure him, push him. Maybe do some economic damage just as he spent all the resources age, and also this will kind of allow me to get map control and pick up all the relics. So I'm trying to get as many relics as possible as quick as possible. So I have 1 in the Ragnets right now. I have this one shift clicked to pick up this very far one, and then boom, chopping off so that's 2 relics. This is a 3rd relic going in. So right now I have 3 relics. Like that's very good, right? If HRE can get 3 relics and get them early, it's so good with HRE. So, yeah, I'm looking pretty good at this moment. And yep, just trying to be annoying, cause a lot of havoc. And yeah, the big thing he really messed up, I think, making these farms. Like he just went way too heavy on the farms. Like I said, he could have had the berries underneath chapel range, which are actually pretty damn good. Or he could just easily went for the hunts, which I think would have been way better than spending the wood for all these farms. I end up losing my prelate here. Good job not letting that conversion get off, but way in back of my base. And yeah, as you see me, right? Like I have some farms to make this in, which is pretty good, and it's probably better for HRE to do farms than Aura of the Dragon, because yeah. Especially like I said, you could do like the 5 villas to kill a boar, and with Order Dragon only 1 tower. But yeah, I noticed like okay, I see the Burgrave, so he's gonna have a flood of units, right? He's gonna have a lot of units. The Order of the Dragon army is like insanely strong and straight up fight, so it's can be difficult to not die to like their all in timing push. And I don't have a ton of resources right now, right? I can't afford, and I'm like running out of food. I can't afford to make like 10, 15 farms. If I do that, I'm gonna have like no army at all. So I end up sending a bunch of villagers, right? Just like a crazy amount. I end up sending 17 villagers over here. You know, sending 17 villagers to 100 source is a lot, but this is a boar and a deer. Anytime there's a boar next to a deer, it's insanely strong because there's just so much food. And you could just lure the boar here, right? So I end up double towering, being smart, just double towering, realizing like the game basically revolves around this location. There's like over 4,000 food here, and that I just need to gather. And this is like the most important location basically. So I'm double towering it, going for the deer, and then eventually the boar. And then here, I end up sending like crossbows to deal with this, to try to get this relic, which he ends up running away actually, which, but yeah, I'm trying to send a prelate back over there to get that at some point. Get that relic. And yeah, he's trying to go on to the hunt here, which is finally the correct decision. I just keep being really annoying with these raids kind of constantly. Just raiding all over the place. And yeah, he has a horseman. Like I kind of set the wrong units, like crossbows versus horsemen. Obviously, you don't want to do, but it actually doesn't matter. Like the only thing I care about is just getting this relic. So I just kind of want units to distract them, and it actually worked out here. Like the horseman, instead of killing the prelate, the horseman ended up killing all 3 of my crossbows, which I don't really care about, right? I mean, yeah, I could have sent spearmen, which would have been better, but the most important thing was just making sure I, you know, get that relic. So yeah, now I'm on. I have 3 relics right now, and this is a 4th relic. So I am now I'm on 4 relics, which is incredibly strong. My macro is actually, oh my god, my macro is incredibly bad right now. I don't know if I was trying to age up. I'm pretty sure I was not trying to age. Like I said, I was sweating. I think at this point I was like sweating the most, and I don't know. I pretty sure I didn't want to age at this point, because I knew I wanted to just not die to his all-in castle, but man, I'm floating so much res. I mean, it's probably tough. I think the main thing is like once you put 17 villagers on hunt, and then you blink, and that food comes in so quickly. So you know, you go from this point where like, oh, you just have like 10 villas on farms or whatever, it's coming in pretty slowly, and then you put like a bunch of villas on hunt, and then like in a blink of an eye, you have like so much food. So it can be very hard to spend it. And then kind of same thing with the gold. You know, you have like 4 relics, and all of a sudden that golden income comes in super quick. So I think I got a bit thrown off macro wise, and maybe wasn't queuing up, you know, quite as much. But I mean, I have like 3, yeah, I have like a lot of man arms in queue. I think I kind of fixed it now. And yeah, so getting the relics, and then also grabbing the sacred sites, because why not? More just for the gold generation, just to, you know, kind of be annoying. I lure the boar, and able to kill the boar right next to the mill, which is very nice. Start mixing in some more farms, and then I think, yeah, at this point I actually have 5 relics, and you know, I needed another location to put the 5th relic, so might as well build a tower, right? And I knew at this point, okay, I'm HRE and I'm 5 relics. I need to just not die in the next 2 minutes, and I win the game, right? The only way I can lose is if I die in the next 2 minutes. I'm gonna have 5 relics. You know, if this game goes to imp and I have 5 relics, like, it's gonna be impossible for me to lose. So yeah, this was a smart tower to build, and I think I started gathering stone. Yeah, I started gathering stone because I want to upgrade Springle Tower, because it's very good at helping with defend. And as I said, the only way I can lose is if I lose in the next 2 minutes. If you look at the military population, he actually does have a ton of military. So he has a little timing here where he can kind of push with, you know, you could have just a bunch of armored units, and this is a little bit of a scary timing. I have to like garrison all my villas. I don't know where these ones came from. Maybe over garrison some villas here. Oh my god, were these came from the hunt? Oh no, I ran out of deer, so I had to move them. I probably took this fight a little bit too soon. I should have like bought a little bit more time. Now I'm in like full panic mode. I'm like, alright, let me just do panic wolos to buy time. I kind of do another one just so his units have to like move around and avoid it. Springle, it's being researched, not researched yet, but yeah, this is like a serious situation where if you can just sit on top of my TC forever and like prevent me from gathering food or any resource, I might just lose because I just can't gather res, and then maybe kill his units as soon as they're trained, right, from my military building. So yeah, this was like absolute worst case scenario. Like I said, 5 relics. Like if I lose this game, it's horrible to lose a game from this scenario, because as I said, the only way it's possible to lose this game is to die to this timing. I need to just somehow survive and not die to this timing right now. And so I realized, like, I just need to get more military buildings. I go like panic mode. I have like so many military buildings, at this point, and I realized that I just need to get a ton of crossbows out to push back armored units, so you can't sit underneath my TC forever. So I end up, I think I had a lot of units in queue kind of as that push was coming, so the units finally finished being trained, and then it didn't look quite as scary. And now I'm actually in a pretty good spot, right? I'm like pushing them back. Sure, I lost some villagers, but I have 5 relics. Yeah, I mean, I'm still in a good spot. As long as I just don't die, right? And then I think I build a market. Yeah, build a market probably just around this time. Maybe just build a little bit ago. Because with 5 relics, like, the gold income comes in so quickly. Even if you have 0 villagers on gold, it comes in so quick that, like, it's impossible to spend the gold quick enough. So it's good to just like buy food or, you know, buy wood. So I end up building that market to do that, so in order to not lose to the, you know, all in timing. And yeah, I was able to push him back here. So now I'm checking this location because I'm assuming, okay, he's obviously got to be on this hunt, right? It's deer and a boar. Like, how is he not over here? So yeah, I'm checking this location, but you know, he's surprisingly not there. That was my mill that I actually canceled. And yeah, I think he just went too hard with the farms, like I said, and so yeah, I'm just trying to keep up the pressure. I kind of want to. I realize I have a very good eco. I think I just want to keep fighting and like prevent him from getting really big army, or prevent him from going imp. Sometimes, like, one popular strategy with Order of the Dragon is that they'll age up to imp really quickly, and then do Palace of Swabia with like cheap Order of the Dragon villagers, which can be really good. I realize I have 5 relics. Like, I have the eco advantage. I want to just like force fights to happen, not let him get away with stuff. Yeah, it would be a mistake for me to go to the Palace of Swabia, because then he could all in me. I kind of want to just make fights happen and just be annoying. So that's what I'm basically trying to do here. While, you know, capturing sacred sites behind this, and now, you know, I'm running out of my hunt, so now I start mixing in farms. I think these, well, I guess they're okay farms, but probably need to put a mill there. And then Spring Hill Tower, very nice. Good that I have the Spring Hill Tower to deal with this night. And then kind of just being annoying, idling his villas at the very least, even if I don't kill any. And then just attacking over here, capturing another sacred sites. And I have 5 relics. Meanwhile, you know, his eco's a mess, and he's chasing my units around. And I mean, he actually had a decent sized army, but his eco was just like completely in shambles. I had 5 relics, and he realized he's just getting ran around. He's not gonna be able to chase these units, and he just ends up tapping out here. And yeah, that was game 1. So this was a good game. It was quite back and forth. Yeah, a little bit dicey, not the smoothest game for me. But yeah, I ended up winning game 1, and this was the best of 5. So first person to win 3 games, you know, wins this series, and then would move on to the next round, obviously, in this 8-player LAN event. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm just gonna have this video will be just game 1, and then you'll be able to see game 2. Maybe I'll have a link to game 2. You can watch game 2 and then the rest of the series. And down below, I'll probably have links to like I don't know, maybe like the Liquipedia, so you can see the tournament history. Obviously, the tournament's over now, so there'd be spoilers if you click on the Liquipedia. But yeah, I think I'm gonna try to do commentary for my tournament series. And if you do want to see this, let me know. I'll leave some comments down below, because I could try to cover like all of the tournament series, possibly do all of the games that I played in the tournament if you guys are interested in this. And yeah, I mean, it was an awesome experience playing in a LAN. So yeah, let me know if you guys are interested in that. Alright, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one.